Hiya. Today I'm going to talk a little bit about texture. I got a Facebook message from a friend and fan named Suzanne in Pennsylvania, and she asked me to talk about texture. Now I'm not sure if she's talking about texture as in the texture I build up in the canvas using different paints where it's nice and thick and it's a 3D effect, or if she's talking about the textures that I get by using my doilies and other things that I've collected and spraying on them and working those images into the figurative work. So I'll try and very quickly talk about both of them. Now if we're talking about texture in a 3D sense, where I build up the paint on the canvas, I want to let people know that you can't really build up too heavily and too quickly, or the aerosol that you use and the acrylic that you use could crack, especially when you apply the oils. It could just crack, and within a couple of years actually. But I do it anyway, but I do it carefully. I've done it actually in this painting, which is one of my favorites. It just came back from New York because it didn't sell, and I really wanted to see our work switched out so we could start some fresh. But so here it is. It's one of my favorite paintings, and it's sitting back in my studio. But this is where I've used actually both types of texture. In and around the faces in here, acrylic is built up so that there's a little bit of a 3D effect. And that's what I wanted. I wanted this couple to feel like they're popping out. The 3D effect also helps to pull them together and to hold them in against the New York background, the gritty New York 1940s background. It really helps them helps me with the nestling in here. Now with all of my paintings, I always start off the same way. I start off with a black and white background, then I aerosol in the basic outline of the figure, and then I start putting in aerosol designs using random objects. Mainly, right now I'm using a lot of doilies, but I've also used like plates. I've used the air conditioner front. This is one of my favorites to use in backgrounds. It's just this little grill. I use scarves. I use all kinds of things to build up this design and a kind of texture in the background that I'll work into the painting. Let me pull up that couple of them. After I had done the black background and the aerosol, and then put in some of the doily, that's when I started cutting in with the figure. Now, one of the things I love to do is to carry the design, the doily, let's say, into the rest of the painting. I don't necessarily like to block it out. Let me grab one okay, here we are. Let me grab one where I actually worked it into some of the rest of the painting. Like this guy. We've got the doilies coming in, not just in the background, but working into the ring, working into his coat, working through here, and it's very lightly in the face, and it goes down to his hand. I have quite a number of paintings where I've actually worked it into the face. I just feel doing the work that I was doing on Cape Cod was perfectly fine. Taking the black and white images and doing figurative work from them was perfectly fine. But I've grown since then, artistically, and I get bored. I don't just want to be painting straight figures. Anyone can paint straight figures. It's finding that abstract that's exciting to me, that real expressionist, abstract element in the work that I find really exciting. I also like puzzles. So what I'm doing here, when I'm starting this, is I'm getting ready to build myself a puzzle I don't think I'll be able to get myself out of by incorporating the doily design, by incorporating the background. We'll be coming across a little bit further. How am I going to make this figure work with all of that shooting in? I'm just very careful to build work that doesn't get boring, and you're always going to find something new in it. Hopefully, if I've done it right, I will have provided the collector or the viewer with a new way to see the work every day. I really love it when people say to me, I was staring at this painting and I saw this tiny little section, and in that tiny little section was an entire painting. I never get bored. I really love that. I'm going to show you an example of how I've worked the doily design or design into the painting. This is supposed to be done, but I kind of screwed up and lost focus, and so it's not done, and I've got to work on the figure here. But this is for a friend of mine. It's a gift. It's a thank you gift. But in the background here, we've got doilies that are hanging up on the wall, building the wallpaper, and also building the doily that's actually on the couch. I kind of wish, in a way, I'd extended the doily down here and into Grandma, the way I'd extended it into the boy. But the boy in the reference photo is actually a shadow. He's walking by very quickly. So I knew I had to keep it in here to keep him in motion, to keep him ghostly. But because of the way I think, and because I don't want people to get bored, and I want the abstract and expressionist element in my work, I kind of wish I had left it. But the woman that this is going to is very happy. I think she'll be happier when I actually finish the baby and get it done, because it's a thank you gift that's now 6 months old. Anyway, Suzanne, I hope that answered whatever questions you had about texture. I don't know if you're looking for how do I do it, what do I do, how do I decide. There is no actual decision. It's just kind of, well, there is a decision, but it's more like, you know, flighty little me. I've decided I'm going to use this doily instead of that doily, but that's a whole nother discussion. If I haven't answered your question, Suzanne, please let me know, and I'll be happy to go back and we'll do it all again. If anyone else watching this has questions about my work or about how I work, please feel free to message me and I'll answer them for you. All right? I'll do the best I possibly can. Try and be specific though, ish, as you can. Anyway, thanks. Ciao.